How many of you have a used car? In college, I got to school by carpooling with my cousin and going with her friends. But then I found out that I couldn't really do that because I had to go do projects, see plays, and they had their own life, so I couldn't really bother them with that. So I asked my parents if I can get a used car, and they agreed, but only if I searched for it myself. And I accepted it because I thought it was going to be easy, but I was wrong. Buying a used car is a very difficult process to go through. 3 simple steps can help alleviate any stress when searching for the right car. First, search for the used car. Then talk to the owner, and then finally visit the car in person. One might think that choosing a car is the hardest choice one can make at a young age, but it's actually knowing where to start. Kyle Busick, the author of How to Buy a Used Car, said that going and searching in the internet, the newspaper, and dealers are a good way to start. Peter Keating, the author of The New Used Car, said that the internet is a very good tool for exploring for people who are looking for cars, for new used cars. And he said that Edmunds is a great way to start. There's also Craigslist. That's where I got my car and a few of my relatives got their car. And then there's Drive Time, Carfax. And these are usually easier ways because it's on the internet. And then the next you can go is looking newspapers, like the LA Times, looking at local classifieds. And the last one is the dealers. So you can go to CarMax or go to Cerritos Auto Square. These are generally more expensive, and I'll show you why. I did some research showing all 4. All 3. So these 2 are the internet. This one's dealer, and then this one's newspaper. You can see that right here. These are kind of cheaper. The internet ones are cheaper than the newspaper and the dealer. But you have to make sure when you look on the internet that you see, because this one he put $1, because when you search for like low price whatever, you see the this one's cheap, it's $1, wow, but it's not really $1. It's actually 11,900. So you have to make sure that you read like the little descriptions that they have, and make sure that they have a contact number, because if you don't, then how are you gonna contact them? And the same thing for dealers. It's practically the same thing, except it's more straightforward because it's set up like more professionally. So then once you find the car that you're looking for, make sure that you get information on the history. So you have to contact the owner. So by contacting the owner, there's calling, there's texting, and there's emailing. So to call is a more direct and straightforward way to ask questions. Texting is another way, but if the person doesn't really like to call, then they'll practically text you. And then there's emailing. Emailing is when people don't really want to give your personal information out, like their phone number, but it's good to email too. Contacting the owner lets you ask about the history, the price, the condition of the car, and it lets you set up an appointment to visit the car. And arranging an appointment is a very important part in the process, because you have to make sure that the time and date is beneficial to you and the owner of the car. So once you visit the car, you're going to ask for the vehicle history. You have to ask if it's been in any accidents, salvage, or, just like a background check on the car. And you also have to check if the car is in reasonable condition. You're gonna see, you should take someone that knows about cars so that they can see if the car is really good, or if, it needs work, if there's leakage or anything, then they'll tell you. And also a good way is to test drive the car, because you have to check the steering wheel and then the brakes and then the lights and everything on the inside. So taking someone that actually knows what they're doing and what to check for, then it's really good to take. And also lowering the price. This is a good way. A good way to lower the price is if you find something that's like major in the car and they didn't mention it at all in person or in their detail, then just tell them like, hey, that wasn't in there, lower the price or something like that. And so after visiting and hopefully buying your car, then you have accomplished buying a used car. So for me, I searched left and right, and I finally found the car that was best, like for me, that I had seen like the best deal on. And then I searched online, and I know that I had searched for the right car at the right price. And I'm sure that when you search for the right car and for the right price, that it was not going to be easy. But that once you find the car, then you know that it's the best one because you looked for your car and you knew what features you wanted in the car.